203. All right, welcome. Actually, this is going to be 204 to my FX Buddies, the podcast. And I say podcast because there are other mediums in which you can, what is the word? Interact with this content. And the best way, my favorite way, I suggest you go to the blog, the free blog. You don't have to put your email in, and I don't sell you anything. But the reason is because the video's there, the articles are there in full, because when I go through the video, I just focus on the part that I like. But if you read the full article, you might find something you like, or there may be an article you want to share with someone. You could just copy and paste it, whatever, right? So the blog is at myfxbuddies.blogspot.com, but that's a lot to remember or type in. So wherever you are enjoying this content, look for a prompt of more info, intro, description, something of that nature. Activate it, another box opens, and there's a link. And it says myfxbuddies, the long link. And you click that and you're on the blog. All right, so today was a hard day, at least here in America. But we made it, right? We made it. And tomorrow will be better. Tomorrow will be a better day. All right, but in regards to the Iraqi dinar, there was small little movements that are good. Perhaps one bad thing, but I was kind of warning you guys that I felt, it was that way, and now I think it's clear. All right, so we'll get into it. The first article, and please don't forget, hit the thumbs up button if you're on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, it helps the channel so much, and it's free for you. All right, now, so I put the title, Dinar Watchers Take Note. Dollar rises above 14.30. Yeah, it is. It didn't go down. It actually got up to 1437.5. So what that means, if you're new, the parallel market is a market that should not exist, but it does. They used to call it the black market, but I guess maybe someone told them that was offensive to some people, and they changed it and they call it the parallel market. So it's an unauthorized place for people to go to get dollars. And if it's illegal to deal in dollars and they know where these places are, why don't they just go there and arrest them? I don't know. They don't, though. So someone's making money off of that. That's the only reason why they would let unauthorized, illegal, right, transactions take place. Someone is making money off of it. All right. So, now this is the title. If you click the link here, this is the title you'll get. Preference for the parallel market is behind the rise in the dollar price. Because it was like it was going down. It had gotten to 13.90, and they were writing articles. Lowest it's been in 2 years, right? Remember that? Now I know. I always like, what does rug pull mean? What is rug pull? I don't get rug pull. I get rug pull now. Anyway, so Mohammed Salih, who's the financial advisor to the Prime Minister, he attributed the rise in the dollar exchange rate in local markets to the preference of speculators and cross-border traders. But are they really doing that much cross-border trades? Speculators I get, because they keep telling them, well, you're going to get more purchasing power, you're going to get new money. So people are buying, well, actually, they're buying the dollar. So no, scratch that. That doesn't apply to that. Now, what I have noticed, when that parallel market rate gets to around 14.50, which is where it is, if they're putting in writing 14.37, someone's paying 14.50, right? So when it gets there, that's when the people start to get nervous and they start going back to dollars instead of dinars, and we're there. All right. So he says, so this came out of Kurdish news. But on Thursday, September 11th, Mohammed Saleh said the speculative and cross-border commercial environment balances its risks between the decline in the dollar exchange rate, the ease of parallel financing for fast trade, and its low administrative and regulatory costs, especially compliance and anti-money laundering procedures. Yeah, because they just go in, they don't ask for ID. You got dinar, I got dollars, we exchange, whoop-de-whoop, right? Oh, and also there was that show that comes on called Dinar. They had a little segment called, let me see, I have exchange. Where's the camera? Camera. I should have put this up. I didn't think about it. Exchange stations raise service charges. So this is in Iraq, but I couldn't get any more. That was like the topic, and sometimes they'll put the topic in English. But so there was some guy who's an economist. I recognize him because he looks like a used car salesman to me. Yeah, the picture behind him. You know what? I'm not going to talk about it. What I'll do in post-production, I'm going to put this picture right under this article. So right here, right before this American organization, I'll put this picture that I took. And you'll be able to see behind the used car salesman. No, I don't know what he is, but behind him, there's some people that are in line, and it is an exchange station. I guess that's what they call them. And then they have another one with the point of sale machine, but then the rest of it is kind of blurred out. So I'm wondering what, I've always said that these parallel market dealers, whatever, I think they'll be used in the future to take in 3 notes and give out the new lower notes. I don't know why, I just think that. All right. Okay, so what else is here? And then what else did I want to talk about? Mohammed Salih said small business activity dominates more than half of the country's foreign trade. Wow, right? Who would have thought? And he added the equation tends to derive funding from the illegal or parallel secondary market, and that banks are in a preferential position when the dollar exchange rate declines compared to audit costs and the cost of banking and customs compliance, unless deterrent legal enforcement is tightened. But it's not, and that's why they're able to do that. Oh, so when they were saying the cost is less because they don't have to do the background checks, that it's just money in, money out. That's it. I'm not checking you for nothing. I'm not scanning you for anything. Just money in, money out. So, yeah. Okay. Now, this is the article that seals the deal for me that there's a problem. American organization, which I don't know, maybe it's this Defending Democracy right there. They announced in a report that was published today, September 11th, Sudani has an opportunity to reduce Iranian influence and improve relations with Washington. So there, the relations with Washington are bad. Plus, he still hasn't been given the visas to come here, and they did start today. Now, some guy from Iraq is here because they had a meeting about the Kablooey situation in Doha. They had an emergency meeting, and someone is there representing Iraq. But that's it. So these people said Sudani has an opportunity to reduce, what the title said. They do that. They repeat the title. After Sudani announced the formation of a committee to investigate the smuggling of Iranian oil through mixing it with Iraqi oil, he is now obligated to investigate in a fair and impartial manner, announce the results, and take urgent measures to prevent smuggling based on them. And remember, Miles B. Kagan was like, he wants them punished to the extent of the law, right? The highest extent of the law. The organization called on the U.S. government to officially inform Sudani that the established investigative committee represents an opportunity to end Iran's illegal activities in Iraq and restore relations between the two countries to normal after their recent volatility. That's us. They're talking about us in Iraq. The organization noted Iran has managed to invent routes to smuggle oil through Iraq using Iraqi businesses and companies, Iranian-backed unofficial forces that have pew-pews, okay, and even Iraqi government officials generating approximately $3 billion in annual revenues, making the work of the committee formed by Sudani sensitive. You think? So there's a bit more if you want to read that, just a little bit more. Okay, this is good. So that's the last of the bad. That's why I said there's something kind of bad, but we knew that. We knew that there was a rift between the U.S. admin and Sudani, but you can't hide it now, right? Okay, so this is good. Iraqi Bank Association's The Reform Plan has reached its final form and will include all private banks. All right? So, oops, I left the T out. Well, the Iraqi Private Bank Association confirmed on Thursday that banking reform in Iraq includes both the public and private sectors, while indicating that the reform plan has reached its final form and will include all private banks without exception. So, in case you forgot a piece, go back a couple of weeks ago, the middle of August, I guess, and remember some of the banks were given 3 things: either liquidate, comply, merge, or liquidate. Remember? And so there were some banks that it didn't look like they were going to make it. And then they got 30 days to make it. And so now here is Ali Tariq. He says the banking reform is going to include all private banks, and it's in its final form. So that's good, okay? So Tariq told the official agency that the banking reform in Iraq consists of 2 parts. The first for government banks and the other for private banks. But what about the Islamic banks? There's another segment of banks in Iraq. The Islamic banks, right? And guess what? The Islamic Bank Association affirms its full support for the banking reform plan. Yay! So, they're bringing them on too, and look who heads that up. I mean, he's sitting at the chair, right, the head of the table chair. They're not doing much work, or they've already done their work, right? There's no computers. She's got her purse on the table. She's ready to go. That's a cute little purse, too. Okay, it won't get any bigger than that. But Aliyah Locke is heading this meeting up. So, the Iraqi Islamic Bank Association affirmed its full support for the banking reform plan on Thursday. Explaining, we firmly believe that this plan represents a pivotal and necessary step to enhance the stability of the banking sector in the country and ensure its sustainable growth, serving the higher interests of the national economy. The reform initiative aims to enhance transparency, combat financial corruption, and modernize the legal and regulatory frameworks to align with international best practices. So there's, they oblige the people to provide sustainable and ethical financial model, stressing that it is fully prepared to work side by side by the Central Bank of Iraq and relevant authorities to achieve objectives of this reform plan. So the other article has 4 axes, but you can read them if you want, right? So yeah, let's go back right here. Sorry, I don't want to make you dizzy, but here, 3rd axis, 2nd. So if you want to read them, they're there. And again, those are easy reads too. All right, and then they put this out. Ramadan Bank supports nearly 2,000 projects worth 24 billion dinars. And what are they? Projects for small and medium enterprises, but they're calling them leadership and excellence. So that's great. Supporting pioneering projects and contributing to the development of the national economy. All right, here is I guess it's good because it's combining Kurdistan. And remember, we talked about this before, and I wasn't sure if it was the Iskada system because the letters were different. And now it says customs committees formed to link Kurdistan's ports to the Iskada system, what are the implications of this move? And the implications is Baghdad's going to start taking half their money. That's what the implications are. But if you listen to yesterday's, if you missed yesterday's, you should listen. It has some good stuff in there too. Plus they tie together because I did go over both countries. Oh, see, I just did that. They're supposed to be one country, right? And there I am calling them 2 different countries. But both of the regions, they are experiencing increased non-oil revenue. And Baghdad wants some of their non-oil revenue. Okay, this guy is a member of parliament. That's what MP stands for. And he's accusing the government of deliberately delaying the submission of the general budget. That's why we haven't seen the schedules. Same thing, right? But now this one, the absence of budget schedules deprives the central and southern governance of services. So that's the central and southern part of Baghdad. Now they're complaining, hey, due to your failure to send the budget schedules, we can't eat, we can't grow, we can't do whatever, right? Many projects have been halted. So yeah. And then here's Jamal Cooper talking about what a disaster the 3-year budget deal was. And instead of them having a hypothetical deficit, remember that they were saying, oh, a hypothetical deficit. Now, the hypothetical deficit is a real one. Okay, and then this is interesting. So remember I said they had that meeting. I think it's in here. On the sidelines of the Gas Tech exhibition and conference, the Deputy Minister of Oil met with who? The World Bank. And there's 3 sentences to this article. And it's been my experience when there's little tiny articles like that, later it's revealed that it was a very serious article. All right, and then Iraq seeks to extend a new oil pipeline across the Gulf into Oman. So Oman is just cleaning up, boy. All right, now here, this is the title of this article. Sudani. The realities of reconstruction on the ground are hurting them and revealing their ding 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 bankruptcy. So the reason why I was saying you really want to see yesterday's, no, that's not it. Yesterday's, okay, That's the thumbnail, but you probably can't see the title. Iraq's financial reality, bankruptcy, delayed pensions, and a fragile future. So it kind of ties in. Okay, so now this is Sudani saying this. But when you read this article, most of the article is talking about the media. So person that listener, watcher, whatever, that was saying, how come they don't ever talk about the media? And then I was like, they dictate to the media what they're supposed to say. He's kind of going off on them, saying they're sowing discord and hatred in the country, stressing the need to promote values of security and stability. So I think he's talking about the people that wrote that article, right? So then they go on to talk about the great prophet. So they kind of had a little holiday yesterday. Look, I'm still in birthday mode. Hey, my birthday was just 10 days ago, right? I could still be in birthday mode. But anyway, yeah, so he gave a speech at a ceremony commemorating the prophet's birthday. Blah, blah, blah. He goes through. They want to guarantee citizens' rights and implement laws without bias or favoritism. So they only mention the title at the very end of the article. He warned against sowing hatred and misinformation, stressing that the people's decision and the facts of development and reconstruction exposed the bankruptcy of those who seek to harm society. And in that case, I think he's talking about character bankruptcy, right? Expose the bankruptcy of those who seek to harm society. But I'm like, no, bruh, you missed. And so even if you just watch like the first 10 minutes, because I went through the article and they have good reason. It's a member of parliament and an economic expert, and they go through plain as day examples of why they think that the treasury's empty, they're paying salaries late, you know, all these things that point to a country that is about to go in bankruptcy. So anyway, all right, there's a lot of space there. Oh, okay, I'll get rid of that space. Here's my one commercial. If you'd like to support my FX buddies, here's the way to do it. This is a live blog. The Buy Me a Coffee link goes live. Cash App is always live, and PayPal too. And I am Tish Wash there. Lowercase, T as in Tom, I, S as in Sam, H, WASH. Big or small, I appreciate it all. And thank you in advance for your generosity. Ding. All right, so now this morning when I first read this, I wasn't sure if it was good or not, if it was good news or not. So I consulted with, well, by the end of the day, 2 different people, and they say it's good for Iraq. And actually it should have been done a long time ago. And then you'll see, so there's 3 different articles, okay? But here's the title. U.S. House of Representatives ends war authorizations for Iraq and the Gulf. So this goes back to 1991, 2002, and 1991. So it's been in effect for a long time. And we don't need it anymore, really, right? It was another way that we were holding Iraq's hands, maybe holding them back, right? So it was a bipartisan support. It had bipartisan support to cancel it. And let's see, does it say? It's the bill to repeal the authorization. So that means they're taking away the authorization, right? And this time there are border disagreements over the nature of the amendments included in the legislation after senior Democrats threatened to oppose the law if Republicans insisted on including controversial amendments, which would have forced the GOP to pass the bill without Democratic support. So they didn't want to do that. So Iraq hails U.S. House vote to repeal Iraq war powers. So they said it was justified. It strengthens Iraq's sovereignty and reshapes relations with Washington, which kind of goes with that other article that says Sudani has an opportunity, right? Remember? So we welcome the U.S. House of Representatives vote to appeal the blah, blah, blah. And there was a statement from the embassy in Washington. We look forward to its approval soon by the U.S. Senate. So it has, some of you know how things work in our government. I don't. But yeah, so it looks like it's going to go through this time. Then this one is a little easier to understand. So that's why I put this one. But the Iraqi embassy in Washington comments on the decision to revoke the Iraq. Oh, I've been saying that word, haven't I? Well, anyway, authorizations, a significant milestone in the development of relations between the two countries. So if you want to go down and read that one, it's easier and see it's shorter. It's concise and to the point. All right. So here, just everyone's favorite, Maliki. There he is, meeting with who? Josh Harris. And who is Josh Harris? The new U.S. Charge d'Affaires. So see, he's legitimized. He's in the government. And when state heads go there, they go visit him. And he wants to be prime minister again. And they talked about elections. I think they talked about water, building a partnership-based tie with the countries. I don't see anything about the water, but placing the political process on the right track and fulfilling the demands of the people. And that should be first. Fulfilling the demands of the people. I think we're almost done. Yeah, Doha hosts an emergency Arab Islamic summit to discuss. Whoa, that word I'm not going to say. There's two words there I'm not going to say, but there's a word that starts with Z and it rhymes with ion, and it's commonly used to describe ice cream land by its enemies. All right. So what they did to Qatar. So that's on Monday. All right. And then this is a very nice article. It's long, and that's why I put it at the bottom, because I know not everyone's going to read it. But here's the title. Discover Iraq, Baghdad, a city shaped by conflict and enduring hope. So it goes, it goes all the way back to 762 CE. And what is CE? They changed it. See, they just changed stuff. It used to be BC, before Christ, and what was the other one? AC, right? After Christ. Now they got all these other things. I know the E stands for era, right? I don't know. One of you smart people, you'll put it in there. You'll learn me something, right? But yeah, they go all the way back to that. When it was founded. It was founded in 762 CE during the height of some still can't say the words, caliphate, I can say that. The city once symbolized the golden age of knowledge, culture, and power. So it gives the history and where they are now and where they want to go. And it's a nice read. Yeah. So also, you should want to see yesterday's, because at the end it showed the rebuilding. It showed this little video of the city, and the video has English subtitles. I should have said that. It's in Arabic, but it has English subtitles. All right. Oh no, there was one other thing. So a new gazette, actually, by the end of the day, 2 new gazettes came out. You know what? Can I do this? No, I don't know. So on YouTube, you can make posts. And I did. I made a post early in the morning, like the Gap Man. But yeah, so I guess if you are if you're a subscriber, if you're subscribed, do you get notifications that the post is there? I don't know. You must, because people go there and see it and make comments. But I wanted to put it out as soon as I saw it because I knew those AI channels were going to be running with, oh, there's a new Gazette and it has the official rate. And no, it doesn't. Neither one of them that came out today have. There's one about a financial law, but it doesn't have anything to do with the rate or the new money or anything like that. So, yeah, so see, there's another reason. And if you're watching right now, look down in the left right hand corner and there's a little icon and you can tap that icon and subscribe for free. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to linger on because we're at 31 minutes. So thank you as always for watching. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you haven't already. What are you waiting for? It's right there. Just thank you. Yes. All right. So accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any meals and pay on your bills. Enjoy the rest of your morning, night, noon, whatever time frame you are indulging in this content. And until next time, which will probably be tomorrow.